Welcome everyone to Beyond Boardroom Business. This is the podcast where we get to meet the person behind the business and understand why they are a trailblazer. And this episode is just going to be so phenomenal because I personally know this trailblazer and I can attest that he is the person who he says he is. He has toured the country for years. And before I get into it, let me just introduce our next guest. As a longtime real estate investor and business owner, Mr. Thomas TJ Loftin spent a lot of time observing business and real estate trends and watched some major disruptions in both areas. Therefore, TJ decided to travel the country to closely monitor them. He came to the realization that in less than a decade, most people will not be able to afford real estate ownership or even be able to start a business and own the building that it's in. He says, quote, "We are raising the first generation of non-homeowners, and that's dangerous." So TJ decided to write his first book, Monetizing Gentrification. And I had the pleasure of helping him put that book together. It's all his content. I just helped him put it together. And without further ado, let me introduce to you the multiple award-winning, best-selling author and speaker, Thomas TJ Loftin. How are you today, sir?
Oh, I'm great. Yourself?
I am feeling fabulous as always. Thank you for being on the show. As you know, I have followed you. I know that you've taught me a lot, TJ. You've taught me a lot about real estate, about gentrification, and I see it everywhere now. So I'm so thankful that I had the opportunity to meet you. And along the way, again, multiple award-winning, best-selling author and speaker. How do you do it, TJ?
One day at a time. Planning, lots of planning. Think the playing the long game, by the way.
Yes. Okay. So, can you tell us a little bit about how you became a real estate guru?
What made me a guru is I owned a lot of real estate, and I ended up having to fight to keep that real estate. And during that fight, I learned a lot of stuff. Because it's like when people own real estate, you can buy a house, then you own it for 20 years and never you paid your taxes and made your mortgage payments and you're okay. Well, when someone wants to take something from you, you find out there's a lot of laws or a lot of things, a lot of laws that's in place that allows them to take stuff, a lot of loopholes and things like that. So when I went through my divorce, they were suing me for all my property. And that's when I started finding out about all these laws and things. So during that whole big battle of like 3 years of fighting to save my real estate, I'm like, okay, cool, I'll make it through all of that. But now I'm looking at the world and I'm like, whoa, they're taking people's houses, they're passing laws. I'm like, it's the same thing again. So now that made me the expert. Like I didn't realize the divorce was just preparing me for what was to come, if that makes sense. So now I'm like, hey, do y'all know about this law? You need to change this and leave them HOAs alone and all of this, So I feel like I came back from the future and I'm like, hey, let me tell y'all what's about to happen, and y'all need to start doing this. Y'all need to do that. Don't buy this. So they said, wow, you're a guru, you're an expert. Nobody else has ever told us that. Now you got seasoned real estate investors or seasoned real estate people who's never traveled the country that didn't realize well, California was doing this. So this is going to greatly affect y'all over here in Georgia, in Tennessee, and Texas. And, they didn't realize that. So people started calling me the real estate guru because nobody else had ever said that. We didn't know. We weren't prepared for these things. They weren't prepared for these things to happen. So that's how I became the guru, they say. I help people out of situations and prepare them for the future.
Okay, that is a great answer. And TJ, I mean, you come from the auto industry. I mean, you became a millionaire. Tell us about that. You're from Compton. Tell us your story.
Well, years ago, Compton has always had a huge automotive culture. And I tell the story. I say my great grandfather was a tradesman. He had a plumbing truck and all of that, and fixed cars. So he taught my grandfather, and then my grandfather came and teamed up with my dad and gave me a little red toolbox. And then I took my little red toolbox, and ended up helping out one of the guys in his backyard or his garage to work on these cars called lowriders as a kid. So I learned a whole lot of stuff that I did not realize that was going to become my future of my life. The biggest industry on the planet, pretty much, global industry. So yeah, so anyway, they came to mind, my buddies in Compton. We got a lot of guys that own record labels. So we all sit down and collaborate. They're like, hey, they're gonna make sure that every lowrider, every rap video, every rapper from Compton puts a lowrider in their videos. Well, if we the only ones in the whole world that was building those cars, started coming right out of Compton, we was the ones that was going to benefit greatly from it. So that's exactly what we did. We put those lowriders in all those videos. So I literally played a part in helping to stop gang violence so that we could do that. Make sure that we can go in anybody's neighborhood and have the rappers rap, and we renting cars out, bringing in the black businesses, and it was an amazing situation. So what I was not expecting was for someone to call me from Germany saying, I want to buy one of those cars. Somebody called from Japan saying, I want to buy 5 of those cars. Me and my buddies want to buy 5. Can you ship it to me? That I was not expecting that. I can't lie to you. I wasn't thinking internationally, if that makes sense. Okay. The rappers were, I think it was NWA. Before that, like Ice-T, they would go around America and tour. Because you can sell 1 million albums from here to Oakland. But when NWA came out, they started traveling internationally rapping. And when they started going internationally rapping, they took us right along with them. So now I got people, the operator calling me saying they want to translate for me because someone's calling from the UK, someone's calling from Germany, Australia, someone's calling from Japan. And I'm like, wow. He wants to buy a car like the movie in Training Day. He wants to buy a car like the movie Friday. What is that? He wants to buy the car that Big Worm. Is that correct? Do you know a Big Worm? Just to them. Like, is this a joke? It was just hilarious to me. And I'm like, yeah, I know the orange. Does he want it to be the same color? He's like, yes. And then some people say, no, can you make the same kind of car? I said, tell him that's a 1961 Chevy Impala convertible. And they're like, well, yeah, can you make me one yellow? I said, yeah. So it was just amazing. The journey has been amazing. So how did I become the award winning? They decided to wait 30 years, 35 years and say, oh, give TJ an award, give him this. So I got a presidential award, which I didn't take too serious, but I found out they was like, TJ, that's big. Everybody don't get those. You know what I'm saying? You got a presidential award. Do you know what that is? I'm like, and then I was the first car builder to be honored during the 50th celebration of hip hop.
Wow. Congratulations.
All them different companies was like, yeah, give TJ awards. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow, And then people just started giving me awards. It's like literally I got all these awards in like the last couple of years, and it's like, okay, I get it. Low riding is gone mainstream now. They need it. When they realized, they called me one of them, what they said, legend or something like that.
Right. Well,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, is that how you started your love of helping others? Because you've helped a lot of other people become millionaires as well along the way.
Absolutely. Oh boy. Wait a minute. But yeah, what I did was, oh boy, one of my chargers said, hey, we low. We're not gonna make it through this journey with you.
No, plug up, please plug up. This is a very interesting interview because you have accomplished so much. And I want people to understand, you know, the desire to help others and to do all the other things that you have done and that you continue to do. So we have to keep this interview going. So
I
let
know.
me know when you. No, I was just waiting for you to finish your answer.
Okay, so helping people. You
Yes.
know, growing up in Compton, I have a lot of homeboys. You know what I'm saying? The guys who I grew up with, the guys that looked out for me. So when I had opened up my lowrider shop, it took a serious movement of people to help me stay there because of all the gang violence back in the days, So I had a lot of relationships. So it's like when lowriding really started taking off, it allowed me the opportunity to start creating jobs. So I was like, well, let me give all those people who helped me a job. You know,
Right.
Lil Pookie, I need you to jump in this tow truck and tow these lowriders to the gas station, to the paint shop, to the transmission shop. Go pick it up from the muffler shop. Okay, the guy in Riverside, he 2 hours out. I need you to go drop his car off, and on the way back, swing through Pomona, California, and pick up that other guy's car. He wants me to build it for him. And then
Right.
that's how we started. And then all of a sudden, I got people calling from Tennessee and Georgia and Florida, and they were like, okay, well, Lil Pookie, I need you to go drop this off in Florida. Then it's like, okay, well, we got to go pick up 5 cars from Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama. So, okay, well, we need a 10-car hauler. So all these cats, okay, well, Lil Pookie, like, I can't go by myself. So, okay, now I got to bring in Gangster Rick. Only thing he got good about his life, convicted felon, on his way back to prison any day now. Anything go wrong, he's done. He got a driver's license though. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to drive a diesel. So it's like, okay, well, y'all take this 10-car carrier and go to Mississippi and pick up those Chevys, and bring them back. And it was like, it got to a point that they was always on the road that I wasn't seeing these guys. It was like they would call me at 2 a.m, like, I'm dropping these cars off, and then I'm like, okay, well, now I need you to go to North Carolina and pick up some more. They like, okay. And I don't see the guys, and they're like, I'm paying payroll, cutting checks and mailing money off to people, and wives come in to pick up the paychecks and stuff. And I'm like, I ain't seen this dude in 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Because lowriding has gotten big. It's like we never seen that coming. It's like it started off with 1 truck, then it ended up with 5 trucks. Then my homeboy come in and he bought 10 trucks, and next thing you know, other people starting businesses with those trucks. And it's like I became like the voice of lowriding. I held the record of being the longest running lowrider shop in Lowrider magazine, the only African American lowrider shop in Lowrider magazine from like 1993 or 4 all the way to 2009.
Look at that. Wow. So is that when you started noticing gentrification?
Well, let me tell you what happened. How I got a real good not understanding, but an overstanding of real estate. When I moved, it played a part when I moved my lowrider shop to I expanded my lowrider shop. I had a shop in California, Gardena, California, and then I opened a second shop in Palmdale, California. And when I opened up that second shop, I decided I'm going to run the second shop in Palmdale. So now all the cars started coming to me, and when I did that, now you got like my paint shop they followed me, the transmission shop followed me, the engine shop followed me, the interior guy followed me. So now you got like 15 different businesses followed me to Palmdale, California. And they all called me, like, TJ, you crazy man, moved us out here. We're not gonna let you get away with the money, right? So I took all these industries with me, and they would all call me and ask me, can you hook me up with the real estate people? Can you hook me up with a house? Can you find it and I'll just buy it, pay cash?
Wow.
So what ended up happening is when they came, we were stuck in the Compton lifestyle of 12 to 1,800 square foot houses, or living in the projects, living in an apartment. And when we got to Palmdale, that's when we started realizing how powerful our money was. These guys got out there like, wait a minute. I was finna spend $200,000 on the house in LA, but $200,000 in Palmdale is a mansion. So now they like, well, I ain't buying no 1,800 square foot house in Compton. I'm gonna buy a 5,000 square foot house in Palmdale. So now when people finding out these guys got these big houses, other people want to come out there with their businesses. And next thing you know, I looked at the price of Palmdale, which was a little small boarded up town because Boeing aircraft had left earlier. And we started buying up all those houses and we moved the needle. We single-handedly low-riding pushed the cost of living up in the Antelope Valley, California.
Wow.
And I started having problems because of that, because I didn't realize how the effects of my low-riding business was going to be on this small town.
Right.
Yeah, so now it comes to mindset. They said I gentrified the Antelope Valley, California, because people were used to paying $15,000 for a house, 20,000 for a duplex, or 40,000 for a fourplex, or something like that. But when we got out there, we were like, oh man, that's a good deal. Let's buy it. So we start buying all this real estate because it was cheap. And next thing you know, now there's a demand for it. And now here comes the big investors like, oh, these guys are out here buying all these houses. We're going to buy them too. So now, boom, next thing you know, we had $100,000 and everybody like, it's his fault. It's his fault. He brought them out here. He's gentrifying this area. And I'm sitting there like, wow. So I got arrested. I've gotten in trouble. I've been pushed. I got pushed out of there because by the time I left Palmdale, house was over $1 million. You know what I'm saying? The big developers moved out there because they say these Compton guys is out here. We started building houses that we couldn't find. And then that played a gentrification role on a bunch of people that didn't look like us. And that's why I had a problem with it. But now the future comes and I hear that SpaceX is moving into Compton. I'm like, oh boy, y'all know what's going to happen? Because I'm thinking about my background. I'm like the $1 million lowrider guy, but he's the $1 billion guy. So I'm over here with a 4,000 square foot shop. He coming in talking about 1 million square feet, and he needs 5,000 houses. So I'm like, I'm looking at the news, I'm listening to people. I'm like, or politicians ain't talking about it, or real estate agents ain't talking about it. And I'm like, do y'all understand what's about to happen? Mm-hmm. Real estate's about to skyrocket, and y'all ain't going to be able to afford to buy houses. So college, that's when I coined the term, college alone is not enough.
That's right.
And of course that pissed off people and I went to war over that. It's like, but they didn't understand what I did and what was about to happen. I know because I went and got my real estate license. I got a mortgage broker license. I want to know where all the money going. Do you mind if I take a 2-minute break?
Okay, no problem.
I'm trying to get that charger real quick.
Okay. Well, everyone, again, this is Beyond Boardroom Business, and I'm your host, Coach Stephanie. I am a speaker, I'm a podcast host, and I am a business strategist, and I love what I do. So I am so thankful that you all are tuning in to Beyond Boardroom Business, because you just never know who's going to be on the show and learn all the different things that they have to share with you all, because I always learn something with these interviews. So let's get back to TJ. All right, TJ, are you ready?
I appreciate y'all. I wasn't trying to lose I'm always getting in trouble about I never go live. I never show people what I'm doing, where I'm at, so I'm like, now I go live and my battery's going low.
That's okay. I'll forgive you this time. And as a economic futurist, I noticed that you're always, especially on your social media, you're always educating us as to what's going on in the world. And when I spoke with you the other day, you were mentioning Starbucks. Can you tell me a little bit about what you observed?
So I was in Chicago last week, Thursday through Saturday, and I had a meeting and we went to the Starbucks. Well, when I go to the Starbucks, this ain't the regular Starbucks. I was like, wait a minute. This Starbucks was 4 stories tall, And I'm like, okay, I get it. So I'm talking to the people and asking questions, and they're like, oh, they're rebranding themselves, and this is the new. So they're creating a menu now. So they're serving food and things like that. So basically, what's happening is Starbucks is one of the titans that's winning in this economy. So Starbucks has realized, they said they're going to go ahead, and since all these other restaurants are closing, they're going to start into the healthier food market, and they're going to go rebrand themselves and sell off a lot of their old stuff and come back buying more restaurant stuff. So they created a super environment, fourth floor observation deck to look over the city. But what's happened? So what am I saying about that? We see a lot of people that realize that you watch the news and says, "Oh, this business is going out of business. J.C. Penney's closing 1,500 stores. This business is closing 1,000 stores." These people, and people are getting scared. Oh my God, this is a bad economy. But no, they repositioning themselves. So I want to talk about that. What does repositioning themselves look like? So I come into a small, like I went into Palmdale back in the days and bought into a small town. I bought houses at, $15,000, right? Bought a whole bunch of houses at 15, 20, $30,000. So all in commercial buildings at 50, 60,000, So all of a sudden, 10 years later, we didn't push the real estate up so high that now my little houses that I pay 15,000 for is worth 400,000. My commercial buildings that we pay 60 for is worth 1.2 million now. So now I'm able to cash out and go somewhere else. So now you think about little TJ, the lowrider guy, you know what I'm saying? Now you think about Starbucks, you think about JC Penney's, you think about Target and all of them people. They came in, bought a 60,000 square foot building in the middle of the city, and they probably paid 300,000 for it. Well, now since SpaceX, Google, Instagram, Tesla, all those trillion-dollar corporations moved in, that $60,000 building is worth 30 million now. And now you want to say they don't have one building, they got 15,000 of them. So now think about it. They're liquidating. They're saying, "Oh, we paid 60,000 for this one. We paid 100,000 for that one. So we're gonna sell that one for 10 million. We're gonna get 35 million for that one. We're gonna get 800 million for that one." You know what I'm saying? They cashing out big, and now they moving over here and they rebranding themselves and opening up something different. So the market has changed. You see what I'm saying? So people get all upset and scared, like, "Oh my God, things are happening. I'm gonna sell my house because if these people are closing down this many businesses, I'm out of here." And then you got the Dr. Sabi effect. Dr. Sabi comes in and this whole thing about alkaline food and veganism and plant-based stuff, all of that just totally destroyed the food industry.
Yeah.
Remember the term they said we're living black neighborhoods or food deserts? Well,
Yes.
now you have black businesses, black-owned people, black people, melanated people saying, "We're going to open up a vegan restaurant in our neighborhood." Well, guess what? That vegan restaurant is giving McDonald's a run for their money. You know what I'm saying? Because as more and more people wake up and say, "Man, I better eat. If I eat healthier, I don't have to go to the doctor anymore. I don't have to take this medication." Now they're going to the vegan restaurants and buying food there now, and their lifestyle is changing, and it's greatly affecting these restaurants. So the restaurants saying, "We're gonna close. We're gonna sell this franchise." So all of a sudden, here's the worst part about that. The first thing, you know what people do when other people who don't look like us decide they're going to sell a dying franchise? Who do they target?
Yeah.
Who are they going to target?
Yeah.
Us, our people. So now here you go. The guy from Howard bought Fuddruckers. Everybody's like, "Wow, you bought Fuddruckers? Oh my God, Howard is smart. Those people are smart. They're the smartest HBCU. And he just bought Fuddruckers." But I'm a businessman. I'm a seasoned investor. I know that was a stupid play. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he bought Fuddruckers. He bought 13 or 90 stores for 18 million or something. I'm like, Fuddruckers used to have over 2,000 stores, and they've been closing stores in the hundreds by the year. Why would you buy a failing franchise? But the media is promoting it as he's a hero. Black social media, he's a hero. Y'all got to be like him and go buy a franchise. So I'm looking at another social media post last night talking about all these franchises that are closing. And I was just saying, I was like, please don't have no more people look like me showing up saying they buying them, you know? And that shit is annoying. It's like all of these real estate business gurus out here, and they're not, I'm the only one on here saying don't buy a failing franchise. Why would you buy a failing franchise when you know that Dr. Sebi revolutionized the food industry and this veganism it's not a joke. People are healthy, eating healthier, and it's the future. It's
Yeah.
destroying the bad food industry. You got McDonald's and Burger King rebranding themselves in the UK, building a vegan McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Their version of a vegan McDonald's. You know, their version of a vegan Burger King. You know, it's not going to be healthy. It's like that Beyond World. You know, it's going to be like, no, we don't want that. You know, but they're rebranding because they're losing big, and they've been closing stores down all over the country. Like I was in Georgia, they had a brand new McDonald's, brand new brick building, beautiful. They opened it up and then they closed it because it was close to the West End with all of those vegan restaurants.
Wow.
They closed it. I'm like, ooh, I want to buy that building, you know? Restaurant in that old McDonald's, you know? But that's
Right.
so how did I really get started? Not to continue to take over, but I'm looking at all these vegan people, vegan restaurant owners starting off these new businesses, and they're going to rent buildings, you know? And I see it's a huge problem because we got people that don't look like us that'll show up in our communities and will find a boarded up building that's been vacant for 20 years and go in there and building probably be worth 100,000 because nobody wants it. And then they offer them 50,000 for it and they take it and then they put a $2 paint on there and put a for rent sign in the window. And then all of a sudden, here comes the melanated hairstylist. Here comes the melanated barbershop owner. Here comes the melanated person that wants to open a vegan restaurant. And then oh my God, I want to buy it. I mean, I want to rent it. And then they said, well, you got to come in there and change the plumbing. You got to change the electrical. You got to build it out to be exactly the way you want it. So now you going in there, you drop $200,000 to restore your rental property. Or to restore something that you're renting when you could have just took 50,000 of that 250,000 and went bought the building yourself. So it's sad.
Yes.
So I look at what other people are teaching, and then I look at what's happening. And when I start speaking on what's happening, it clearly shows you who really knows business and who don't. Because for me to be the only one saying that's a problem, we need to stop this, we need to fix that, that shows you that most of these public speakers or other people who are teaching all these classes, making huge amounts of money, saying they're teaching business, have never owned a real business, you know?
Yeah. That part. Yeah, so it doesn't matter how old your business is or how large or small, a person is capable of rebranding their business to stay up and to generate revenue. So is that why Starbucks is adding the menu to stay afloat? Okay.
So sorry, go ahead. So what happens is people, when people start, like they saw that all of these stores are closing down, going out of business, right? Because of this industry here. So Starbucks has stayed neutral. They're like, oh, well, we make smoothies, we make coffee, you know, we make healthy sandwiches and stuff like that. So it's not hard for them to turn around and go in this direction because they're not known for selling bad food. You feel me? McDonald's, I can't go in McDonald's. I'm like, look, man, y'all for the last 50 years, y'all sold bad food. I can't come in here no more. I don't want to hear nothing about you selling vegan food now. But Starbucks was neutral. They was in the middle of the line, like, okay, we cool. You know, so now when they come in saying we got healthy options, I'm like, okay, let me check them out, see what they talking about. But what's happening is Starbucks had the money and they were able to liquidate stores in prime areas. That they built this store for a couple $100,000. Now they selling it for 20 million because the developers want all that land assets on. Developers like, look, if we get them 20 million for that land, we can tear it down and put up some high-rise townhomes on there, some condos or something like that, and make $1 billion off of it. So give them they 20 million and get them out of there. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it's happening. Everything is restructuring. Now you have people saying, they're building communities called live, work, eat, and play cities.
I see that.
Yeah, so I don't want to be over here by myself. They're saying, I don't want you to come get the coffee. We're gonna bring the coffee to you. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna move you upstairs and we're gonna be downstairs. You see what I'm saying? So when you come in downstairs to go to work, we already here waiting on you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people want. That's the new brand. So it's not that people are closing down because of the bad economy. People are closed. People are repositioning themselves. People are saying, "Oh wow, all of these restaurants are gone. Now it's time. Let me change my position because I'm not hurting. I'm winning. You know what I'm saying? Let me increase my position over there. So if they don't have that kind of food, let me go ahead and start selling vegan food and open up another 1,000 restaurants over here because nobody has really gotten in position. You can't name one vegan franchise. There's no franchise that got over 50 restaurants, over I say 30 restaurants.
Oh, wow.
You think McDonald's, oh, they got 6,000 stores. Burger King, oh, they got 5,000 stores. Oh, Taco Bell, they got 100,000. You know what I'm saying? You say vegan restaurant, like Tassili's, oh, she got one. You know what I'm saying? Wadada, oh, she got one. Simply Wholesome, oh, they got one. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
in the future, you're going to start seeing brands of vegan restaurants in the thousands because this
Oh,
is
wow.
a premier restaurant.
Awesome. We definitely need that because there's just too much junk out here. It's junk food. The music is junk. I mean, it's just we need a change. So let me ask you this: what business is good to get started in this economy right about now?
Vegan restaurants.
Okay.
So that's why I started doing what I'm doing. Actually, I got recruited by Dr. Sabi. You know what I'm saying? And I was in Leimert Park as the president of the Vendors Association, which had these plant-based people, these alkaline food people selling food on the card table in the
Wow.
park. They had card tables in the park selling alkaline food, plant-based, vegan food, whatever. And nowhere else in LA, Compton, you can go buy no vegan food. You know what I'm saying? Nowhere else you can go find that. So the line would be around the corner at Leimert Park. People
Wow.
are walking to the park, getting their food, and going jump back in their car and leaving. They're like, we don't hang with them weird people, but we do buy their food. You know what I mean? Them people got the dashikis on and all of that, they head wraps and they
Right.
good though. The food is good. You know what I'm saying? So now the best opportunity. So Dr. Sabi pulled me in and said he has all these recipes because the park was Dr. Sabi's incubator for his up and coming vegan businesses. He would coach and consult them and tell them you can replace this with that. Stop using this and use that. Blah blah blah. So he had all these recipes, and he said, TJ, he want me to become his leading advisor and help him convert these people in the park and all around the world that follow him into brick and mortar businesses and replace the Taco Bells. He told me years ago, Taco Bell, all of them going to be gone in the next decade. I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know,
Wow.
he was on point. He knew exactly what he was talking about. And I felt like if that's what you want me to do, let's do it. Because I understand, I overstand the long game. And I said, you are absolutely right. That makes a lot of sense. So he said, you know how to do that because you did it with low riding and you understand the effects of things. So you need to help them buy the building, not rent, and blah, blah, blah. Start businesses. So, matter of fact, I helped a good friend of mine. I got my brother Ro, he passed away. Rest in peace. He owned Planet Health in Compton. If you pull him up in on social media, in Google, you'll see Planet Health Compton. It was owned by Roland Jackson in Compton. Big old giant picture of Dr. Sabi on the wall. So I consulted a lot of people like him and just coached them and make sure they was okay. But he passed away because he was driving home from Las Vegas and sleeping on the highway. But we deliberately called it Planet Health Compton because he started with a plan to be Planet Health Carson, Planet Health Inglewood, Planet Health Palmdale, so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? That was fixing to be the trend store. So, that's why I do a lot of coaching, a lot of speaking. And that's what I realized over the years. I said, if ain't nobody else going to do it, then I got to do it. If that's
right.
exactly what Dr. Sabi told me. He said, nobody else knows going to do it. You the only one know how to do it. You got, I was like, well, I like to be behind the scenes. I ain't got time for that. Nah, don't nobody know it like you. I was like, I need. So he made me his leading advisor of his cabinet. And with that,
Wow.
but yeah, it's an amazing journey. That's the best investment. Though.
So, with all the things that you do, I mean, you do a lot of different things. I mean, you're a jack of all trades. I mean, you really are. I would like to know, how do you relax? I mean, this is beyond boardroom business. This is to get to know the person behind all of the amazing things that you do. So, how do you relax and rewind and wind and, chill? What do you do?
I would like to say that relaxing is a luxury. You know,
Mhm.
somebody asked me one time. They said, "How did you know you were successful?" I said, I felt like I was successful when I hired somebody to take my place and I was able to stay in bed until 10 o'clock. That's when I realized, I said, well, I'm doing good.
Wow.
I was able to relax. So that's taking a nap is relaxing to me because of how I move, Being able to sleep past 10 o'clock is called relaxing. That's how me winding down. And turning off the phone, that's kind of scary, you know. Just turn off
Yeah.
that can get scary and interesting. Like too much be happening if I can't get the phone call.
Okay.
But other than that, on a normal day, I like going out, taking the boat out. You know what I'm saying? I like driving through the mountains. Going to the beach and looking at the water. That's relaxing for me. So
That
I have
is so
a spot out
cool.
here. Yeah, I have a spot out here in California. I like to go to. I like to sit on these big old boulders, and I call it my meditation chair. Over there and just listen to the water and take the risk of closing my eyes. How about that?
I love it. I love it. Definitely. So you're saying getting that rest, definitely eating the best foods,
Yeah.
and just being around some water. Those are some great ingredients for having peace of mind. So, TJ, I really appreciate that. And in closing, is there anything you would like to leave our viewers and listeners?
Oh, I wanted to talk about the Get Me Expo. Tell them that we having a manufacturing conference coming up in the mighty city of Compton. So don't let the stigmatism about Compton scare you off. And know that we're having an amazing event. We're going to be talking about manufacturing. We're going to be talking about real estate, land development, and everything that creates money, business owner stuff, real world business owner stuff from a person who got receipts, from people who got receipts. You know what I'm saying? Showing we really did this. So you're gonna hear a lot of conversation you ain't never heard around the country. You ain't never heard at a conference before. It's gonna be real information. So we're gonna be doing that June 22nd in Compton, California, at the world famous Douglas F. Dollar High. They call it the Dollar High for short, was named after the first black mayor of Compton.
Wow.
It's like a 20,000 square foot building. I got the whole building. So if you want to come sponsor, if you want to be a vendor, if you feel that you should be a speaker because you manufacture your own item, it don't have to be nothing about low riding. It's going to be everything from low riding all the way down to hair care products. You know what I'm saying? As just manufacturing or retail, people who can sell melanated people's manufactured products. We're going to help them scale and open up a bunch of stores. And of course, I'm bringing in my lowrider family. I'm bringing in my motorcycle family, and we're
Oh,
going to show you some wealthy people and hear about how we grew lowriding, hear about how we grew motorcycles, and how these became multi-billion-dollar industries that are people like you and me in our community. You like, wow, you're a multi-million-dollar lowrider car builder, or you're a multi-millionaire painter. All you paint is motorcycles. We're gonna have conversations like that, and people be like, how do you make $1 million a year painting cars? You know what I'm saying? People have never heard of that. So that's what we're going to talk about at the conference, the Get Me Expo. So you can go to my website down there at the bottom, getmeexpo.com. Or if you're interested in coaching, if you'd like me to coach you, help you scale your business, you are able to reach out to me at tjloftin.com. Inbox me, go to my social media. All my social media is Thomas TJ Loftin, Loftin, Thomas TJ Loftin.
wow. Whew. Thank you so much, TJ. As always, it's a pleasure speaking with you. Again, I've learned some things. I definitely want to be there in California. Get me at expo.com, correct?
Correct. Get me expo.
Awesome. Yeah. Is there anything else you would like to say in closing?
I want to say that Miss Stephanie did help me with my books. She pushed me. I feel like I owed her some money. She pushed me to write these books and push. And I was annoyed. I would block her. I would hide her from her phone calls. I didn't always answer her calls. Did you start? Did you do this? Did you do that? So she said, you are an amazing coach. I endorse Stephanie because she really pushed me. And when that book was ready, I sat there, a tear came out my eye, and it was the weirdest feeling. I was like, what is going on? And she was right there with me, So when I say we put it together, she helped me by like TJ, you can't use mother effers and shit and stuff. And she texts, I say, these mother effers is gentrifying people. She say, we're gonna put it there are illegally retaining people's property. So
keep it PG.
Most of the time, I am from Compton. When I get upset, I become from Compton. And real estate really pissed me off of what was happening. And Stephanie helped me to straighten that all out and make it very professional.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I appreciated working with you, getting your book accomplished and completed. It's always a thrill to see your creations come manifest and come into fruition. So yes, it was truly an honor to learn about you as I was helping you put the book together. And please, if you all are available to get Monetizing Gentrification by TJ Loftin, you won't be disappointed. Thank you so much, TJ. I really appreciate you being here and look forward to following up with you in a couple of months to see what else is going on.
Absolutely. Cool. Much success on your podcast, by the way.
Thank you so much. All right, everyone. That was TJ Loftin. And please feel free to check him out. His website is TJ Loftin, Loftin. And again, this is Beyond Boardroom Business with Coach Stephanie. I'm a business strategist. I also am a book writing coach, and I am a speaker and podcaster. So I look forward to seeing you the next time. And until then, stay curious, stay motivated, stay inspired, and have an amazing rest of your day. Peace.